Hi, Chief Master Clark here with the Wednesday Minute. Now this week I want to talk about the adult market again, because I know an awful lot of you are a little bit tired of only thinking about the children's market. Now still, we're always going to make a lot of money with the children's market, but how do we attack directly the adult market? You can't just have the same old program. We saw years ago how Billy Blanks came out and did a little kickboxing to music and really overwhelmed us with new adults coming in. Now MMA is making people interested, but I don't know if they want to come in because it doesn't really look like you're learning to do anything but get beat up. So maybe MMA is not the answer to the adult market. But what I found, something I'm going to use in Jacksonville, two things. One is Warrior X Fit, a fitness program designed especially for martial artists to get in shape in the fastest way possible. And it's drawing a lot of adults into it. But the second thing is the Keysi fighting method. Now we say fighting method, but really what I like to think of as the ultimate self-defense, because everything is done with one simple technique. So if you want to implement self-defense in your system, or you want to have a whole new way to teach, maybe Keysi is the way to go. So I'm here with Master Andy Norman and Mr. Gregory. He's a world ambassador for KFM, so they're very knowledgeable. We're going to ask a few questions, and I don't know if it'll help your adult program. I know you need something different in this environment, because right now there's not a lot of new students coming in. Why not make it something brand new? So, Master Norman, tell me a little bit about the KFM and why the adults are so attracted to it. I know it's blowing apart Europe, so.
Yeah, I mean in Europe it's made a really big bang since the release of the Batman films. I think what's happened with it is because it's been born in the streets we've taken it from the streets and into the learning curve and into the educational process. It's got a completely different feel, and it gives the people a chance to really touch the reality without necessarily needing to genuinely go out into the street and touch anything. So it's an exciting program. It's something we brought across to America now, and at the moment in Jacksonville is the first time we're actually starting to teach this program to the instructors, and hopefully open the US market in the next months.
That's fantastic. I know it's got some things that look different. What I notice is everything in the whole program is totally different from anything I've seen. Everything from this kind of a movement, but until you understand that it's got function, you wonder why are they doing it. But I've seen a lot in the last few days. I learned not to sit next to Master Norman in a restaurant, especially since this kind of stuff happens as an accident. And then you learn, I think the study of self-defense may be just as important as self-defense itself, because it really makes you feel secure inside when you know no matter what the angle is, you have a simple answer to the solution. So maybe you can show us some stuff and how it functions.
Yeah, I mean basically we can touch a little bit here and then possibly move the area. A lot of people do ask us about the Pentadol and why this particular shape. And is it just a new technique? Is it a new invention, something that we do because we think it looks funky? And in truth, it's what the human does. If you're involved in a combat situation, in the street, pubs, clubs, discos, nightclubs, taxi rankings, and you've been attacked, you've gone past the stages of talking the fight down, being able to walk away from the fight, and it starts going really wrong, and you start receiving around it. This is instinct, this is what people do. Okay, so for this reason, it's not a new invention. You already do this. What KFM has done is taken it to a stage where we've evolved this instinct and turned it into a predatory weapon. And because you do this instinctively, you don't need to think. So if you've got an instinctive movement, the next motion is in place. You don't need to desensitize the body and try and work something that you won't do instinctively. Definitely, I don't want to achieve Master Clap, so definitely if you just use regularly, what I mean, definitely, only a simple example there, but if you touch something in the face, definitely this is the answer. And you all know this, everybody knows this. So is it best not to educate and cultivate our instincts as opposed to desensitizing it to different movements? This is the main core behind the Pentadol, so people understand this is not an invention or a creation, it's what you all do anyway. This is not rocket science. The cool part is to then take this and develop it and enter into the educational process and learn how to use this in an incredible way. So we're going to maybe cut and go and have a little sit down at a different place and try and look at one or two examples for you as well.
Well, the question is, when you get your martial arts, you get out of the ring and you quit bowing in and there's no referees, and you sit down in the pub or you sit out in a restaurant and some mean guy sits down beside you, do you have to stand up and get some distance to make your martial arts work? Or does the same thing you did standing up actually work? That was the intriguing thing for me about the Keysi program. It absolutely works whether you're laying on the ground, sitting in a thing, standing at a bar, whether all the lights are out. It always works the same exact principles. Very unique. I think you'll like it. Master Norman? This bad guy sat down beside you. What are we going to do?
Yeah, it looks really bad, huh? Okay, the concept for this with the pensador, the same again, the simple shape, and how we can investigate and develop the area. First thing we try not to do is start turning and looking at the guy and trying to punch, okay? We have a handful of weapons based on the pensador, just sat on the plate for you, and we're just trying to work a position to attack and tap. Just trying to work a position to attack and tap, and we don't need to disappear, move or turn. Okay, so slowly we use the pensador, it's how move, catch the body, direct in the face. Okay, it's how trap the hand, or broken, how again, and enter. And how we don't need change, a massive rotation in the body, and we don't stand near the hands. These weapons are the closest. The pensador is the instinct for cover the body kick. We use the instinct for how. The body kick. We use the instinct for how. Keep the shape and okay. Sorry, fucking.
So there you have it. I'm sorry for him too, but that's why I didn't sit there. I'm the thinking man. So absolutely, I think you'll find a lot of fun if you come to Jacksonville. We're going to do a certification. No matter what you do, you can't just sit there and expect adults to show up. You must add a new program into your school, maybe 1 or 2 days a week, or maybe into the class, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. A lot of ways to use this or any other adult program, but don't sit there expecting adults to show up when you don't have a program for them. This may be just the answer. I'll see you in Jacksonville at the next seminar, and I'll see you next Wednesday at the Wednesday Minute. This is Chief Master Clark and the boys from Europe and the Keysi program. So don't forget, if you can't get here, you can go online and train, KEYSIKFM.com, and just sign up and start training online. Probably 5-10 minutes a day, you'll have this in a month.